every chance I get. Senator Welch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank the panel of witnesses as well. We'll start with you, Judge Sankoff. The backlog the numbers are enormous right now, and Senator Cornyn was pointing out that it doesn't even include some folks who, because of the special program, don't go to court. But what effect would it have if Congress increased funding for border enforcement without meaningful increase for the judicial function?
I think that would just grow the backlog further, because the more cases that are placed in proceedings, if you don't have a judge there to schedule the hearing within a few months or within a year, the cases really are, the docket's just going to expand. And I also think that it has a severe impact on the quality of due process that we're providing, because if parties can't actually have their case heard in an expeditious manner, I don't think they have confidence in the system that their cases will be heard and treated fairly.
Can you just outline for me, since I haven't been in immigration court, from start to finish, how long a case takes once it does get on the docket or get on your schedule?
So I have about maybe 3,700 cases or so on my docket. And the case will initially be scheduled through a round robin by the court administrator onto my docket or one of the other 40 or so judges at my court. And they'll be scheduled for a master calendar hearing. It's usually the intake day where maybe 40, 50, 80, 90, 100 people will come into the courthouse, and I'll provide them with information about their rights and advise them they can seek representation. The case will then, they frequently will say, I'd like some additional time to have representation. We reset their case to another hearing, usually about 4 months or 5 months away. And at that hearing, they're usually represented. Sometimes, unfortunately, this happens quite often, sometimes people do retain outside counsel. The attorney will then handle the pleadings by paper and tell the court, here's the application for relief. Do away with that second hearing, just schedule me for my merits hearing, which we then do. And so if it's in the fast format like that, I'd say it might take 1.5 years. If it's in a slower format with a few delays to seek representation, maybe that's 2.5 to 3 years.
So, but when you actually have the hearing, how long does the hearing take?
The actual hearing, it depends on how, well, let's say I always set hearings for about 1.5 hours. Many cases can be finished in that period of time, and I find that's efficient to do 4 trials, but if they need more time, I just reset. I code it a 13 and reset it to another day for additional testimony.
Okay, but the average actual in court before you time, once you get to the hearing, is about 1.5 hours?
I'd say that's fair.
Mr. McKinney, you do a lot of this. Does that sound about right?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, it does sound right on the money. The immigration judges in Charlotte typically schedule hearings for about 90 minutes. That takes care of most of my cases, but there are several cases with more complex issues, legal issues, that require additional time, okay. And they drag on.
Let me move to another question. There's it takes a long time. You come in here, and the backlog means that people are here for a long time, and you are dealing with clients who have to be in this limbo period. And some folks think it's really important to let people get to work right away. A lot of folks who oppose that are apprehensive that that's just encouraging more people to come in and put the additional burden on. Just can you tell me what challenges your clients face to just make it through the day and the week and the month, and what, if anything, you'd recommend that would help in that interim between when they arrive and when they get their hearing?
A key part of the resource problem and representation problem, to your point, Senator, is at the very beginning. Now, the law provides that an asylum seeker cannot obtain employment authorization for 6 months. There are also extensive delays within USCIS right now regarding the issuance of work permits for those parolees.
So how long does it take for somebody to get that period? Is it 6 months, or does it actually take a lot longer?
It is, as of late, it's getting down to about 6 months, but it has, over the last year, been much, much longer, Senator.
Okay, so what would help there?
The administration stepping up its efforts to get these applications processed and get those cards issued, because that's a win-win, not just for the asylum seeker or the respondent, but also for those local communities that are supporting these numbers.
Okay, thank you. I yield back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Welch. Senator Cornyn.
Mr. McKinney, I just wanted to